Hi everybody, here we are again. So today we're going to do a nice warm-up and then a little bit of a practice to work on our thighs, abs, back, a little bit of balance. All right, so sit in a comfortable position and just center yourself. Really let your sitting bones connect with the earth as if they were roots going down into the earth. Let the top of your head rise up toward the sun. Open your chest, roll your shoulders back. Feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades a little bit on your back. Just so your heart and your lungs have lots of room and your heart is open to the world, open to compassion and love, generosity and grace. All right, so just sit for a moment. Put aside everything else that's going on in your life or in your day for this time that we have together. All right, especially soften the muscles of your face. Let your spine be flexible even though it's straight. Think of your head being balanced on top of your spine. So usually that means pulling your ears back a little, dropping your chin a little, because we tend to kind of stick our chins forward. And that just pulls on your neck muscles. It also, those muscles go down into your back, so it pulls on your back muscles. So let's find a comfortable place where all the muscles and the bones of the body are happy and supported, and the organs all have room they need. So let's start with the neck. Just turn your chin to the left and then turn to the right and then down and across and lift up over the left, come down and across to the right, go back again to the left, go back to the right, come forward and just swing your chin back and forth across your chest. And then let your chin settle over on the left, tucked down toward your collarbone. Bring your right fingertips to the mat. Get a little more stretch through the neck, the shoulder. And then lift up to center and come back down again. On this side. Lift up to center. Now look forward, and this time just slide your head over to the left so your ear comes toward your shoulder, and then roll it around. Now you're getting more stretch through the side of your neck, down your shoulder. Come on back up and switch. Left fingertips to the mat. Let your chin come toward your right collarbone and tuck it down. And then come back to center, and then again over and tuck down. Feel that nice stretch. You can walk your fingertips out a little. And come back to center. So look straight forward. Slide your ear over to the right. Roll your ear around. And come back to center. Make a great big circle in each direction. Lift your chin up, slide your shoulders up, roll your head around inside of that collar. And then drop your shoulders, tuck your chin, hold, lift your chin up and hold. And come on back to center. Bring your arms to cactus arms. Let the elbows go back Squeeze those shoulder blades together, feel the stretch across your chest, and then with resistance, come together, come out to the sides, bring your fingertips down and up, and then swing the left one under the right for eagle arms. Lift your fingertips up to the ceiling, lean back, create a little back bend here. And come back, lower your elbows, take a twist over to the left, come back, open your arms, let them go back, squeezing the shoulder blades again. Come together with resistance. Come out to the sides, drop down and up again, and then swing the right elbow under the left. Fingertips come to your palm, lift your fingertips up, look toward them, lean back to create an arch in your back, a little back bend. Come back, lower your elbows. Take a twist over to the right. Come back to center, open your arms, reach way out. Gather the blessings of the universe. Bring them into you. And then open wide again. Big stretch across the chest, arching. As you come in, round. And hug yourself. Tuck your chin down. Bring your hands onto your knees and lean back. And then rock onto your sitting bones and lift up. Bring your hands behind your head. Pulse a few times. Lean over to the left, lean over to the right. Come on back. Take an inhale left, exhale right. Come on back and lower your hands. Now, I'd like to ask you to come to hero pose. So I'll turn sideways to show you. Hero pose can be just like this, where your buttocks are sitting on your heels, or you can tuck your toes under and sit back onto your heels, or another nice way to do it is to take your block on its lowest level, put it between your ankles, and sit back onto your block. Sit nice and tall. Think about mountain pose from the hips up. Again, your head is balanced on top of your spine. Your ears maybe come back a little. Hands on your thighs. And then lift your arms. Big inhale. Turn to the left and lower your arms. Look over your shoulder. Come back to center. Turn to the right and look over your shoulder. Breathe. Come back to center. Palms are facing each other. Then turn your palms out. Let the left one come to the floor. Lean over. Let your right arm reach for the side wall. And cartwheel that to the other side. Remember, turn your palm up. Nice stretch, nice rounding. Maybe your elbow bends a little bit more. And come on back. Bring your hands onto your knees. Lean back a little bit onto your tailbone. Tuck your chin in. And then come on up. Put your block aside. Sit back down. Bring your fingertips in front of your knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees and just round your back here. Just feel what that nice stretch feels like. Walk your hands forward, coming onto the tips of your fingers, tucking your head in between your arms. And now come up onto the balls of your feet. You can walk your hands back a little. just work your toes, work your feet a little bit. Your chin is near your knees. And then lower your heels a little bit more toward the floor. Come on back onto the ball of your foot. And back. Stretch your toes out. One more time. Come on up. Onto the ball of your foot, or actually almost onto the toes, the fleshy part where the toes meet the foot. And then drop your heels and come on back to your hero pose. Take a breath and come to kneeling mountain pose. So this is gate pose. It'll work for the legs. Extend your left leg out. Your toes can point toward the corner of your mat. And then slide your left hand down your thigh. Bring your right arm up and over. And you feel that in the inner thigh. And then just come on up to vertical. Come over again. Feel that in the inner thigh. And come on up. And one more time over. And then your right hand is going to come down to the mat, your left hand to your waist, and your left leg lifts to hip height. And pulse it a few times. So you're feeling this now in the outer thigh. And lower, and lift again, and pulse. And then bend that knee, make a few circles with it. And then just place it down on the mat next to the other one. Come back to your kneeling mountain pose and extend your right leg out. Slide your right hand down, let your left arm come up and over. Rounding, rounding, rounding. So this is the C curve for your spine, the lateral function of the spine. Come on up and over. And up, and over, and then let the left hand come to the mat. Right hand to your waist, and your right leg lifts, and pulse a few times, and lower, and pulse again, and bend, make a few circles, and then just place that knee down, come on back. Sit back onto your heels. Bring your fingers out. Walk them out. Tuck your toes and slowly lift to downward dog. Now, think about your downward dog. Your hands are spread, fingers are spread. Your arms are wrapping in toward your head. Your head is right between the two inner elbows. Your belly is pulled up to your spine. Your buttocks are reaching up. Your core is nice and tight. Your heels drop. Your thighs press back. And then your hands press into the mat and just move your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Your gaze is back towards your ankles. Breathe. And glide forward into plank. Come down to chaturanga. So you can do that in one of two ways. You can drop your knees and then lower your upper body, or you can come down in one piece. Elbows close into your body. Come forward, lift your heart, swoop it forward as you come to cobra. And push back to child's pose. Stretch your arms out. Drop your forehead to the mat. Roll across the skin of your forehead. Get a nice stretch for each side. Come back to center, to stillness. Come up to table. Slide your right foot forward. Let the knee come over the toes as you look forward in low lunge. And if you want, tuck your left toes under, lift your knee. Shift your weight into your left hand. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling. Turn. Bring your hand down. Drop your knee. Drop your toenails. Lift your shoulders. Lift to a nice open V. Little back bend. Look up. Bring your hands to prayer and turn to the right. Nice little twist. If you want, you can lift your left knee. You can also bring your hand to the floor right inside of your foot and lift your arm to the ceiling. Bring your hands down. Slide your foot back. Wiggle your tailbone from side to side and do a few cat-cow. And then slide your left foot forward. Knee comes over the toes. Heart comes forward if you want. Tuck your right toes under. Nice hip opener. And then drop your knee, drop your toenails, lift your shoulders. Nice open V and a little back bend. Bring your hands to prayer. Take a twist over to the left. Tuck your toes if you want and lift your knee. Bring your right hand to the mat. Lift your left arm to the ceiling. Bring your hand down. Push off with your right foot. Bring it up to meet the left. Dangle here. Let your head dangle. Let your head be the heavy weight that pulls on your lower back and your hamstrings and stretches them out. Grab opposite elbows. Sway your hips from side to side. Just let your head dangle. You could shake it yes. Let you know that you're not holding on. And then come back to center. Release your hands. Slowly come up. Just stack one vertebrae on top of another until you're back to your mountain pose. Clasp your hands behind your back. Press your knuckles down to the floor and feel the tips of your shoulder blades sliding down your back toward your waist. Look up, lean back, breathe. Come on back to center. Let's do a little balancing. So just a simple balancing pose. Lift your arms. Hands are in temple pose, so the index fingers are extended. And then just lean slightly over to the left, shifting your weight into your left leg. So that's your standing leg. The right leg almost becomes weightless. And then just lift your right leg, put it back. Lift it, put it back. Lift it and pulse it. And put it back. And again, lift and pulse. Put it back. Lift, maybe you bend a little bit more and you lift that leg a little bit higher. Hold, nice tight core. You always need a tight core for any balancing pose. And come on back. Big inhale and an exhale. Other side. Hands in temple pose. Lean a little bit. Lift your left leg, put it down. Give your body a chance to make the adjustments, to get used to the idea of standing on one leg. Come back, lean over, lift and pulse. Come back, maybe you bend a little bit more. And come back. And a big inhale, exhale, dive forward. Grab the back of your ankles with your hands. Full forward fold. And then slide your hands up to your thighs. Come halfway up. standing staff pose. Your body is in an L shape. And slide down again. Bring your hands to the mat. Step back to downward dog. Come forward into plank. Lift your right knee. Extend it back, lift it, and down. Then the other one. Come in, extend out, come down. Let's do it again. Right side and left side. Bend, extend, lower. Come down onto your belly. So, bring your left cheek to the mat, hands underneath your shoulders. Wiggle your tailbone from side to side. Come on back. Bring your forehead to the mat. Bring your arms to your sides with the palms down. Press into your pubic bone. Lift your head and shoulders. Lift your legs. Lift your arms. Boat pose. Take nice deep breaths. As you take those deep breaths into your chest, that will cause your shoulders to rise and fall, and you'll start to rock a little bit like a boat. And lower down. Bring your cheek back to the mat, bend your knees, and windshield wiper from side to side. Stretch out your legs, roll over onto your left hip, support your head. Your knees are touching. Just bend the bottom one. Keep the knees stacked, but bend the bottom. Flex your top foot, take a breath, and lift up and pulse. And lower down. Turn your toes upward. Exhale, lift your leg. Different range of motion because of the angle of your foot. And lower down. Collapse your arm. Press into your hand and your hip and lift both legs. And hold and breathe. And lower down. Bring your knees up into your chest. Push your way up to seated position. And then just switch over to the other side. Bend the bottom knee. Support your head. But if you don't like how that feels on your neck, you could collapse your arm and rest your head on it. Flex the top foot, lift your leg out to the side and up. Pulse it a few times. Lower down. Turn your toes upward. Lift your leg. Turn your toes again. Get that nice stretch. Stay on your hip. Don't roll back onto your buttock. Breathe. Lower your leg. Straighten the bottom one. Collapse your arm. Press down into your hip and your hand that's in front of your chest. Lift both legs. And lower down. Bend your knees. Roll onto your back. And just give your back a nice little massage by rolling your knees in a circle in both directions. Clasp your hands behind your thighs. Rock yourself up. Come to seated staff position. Hands on your thighs. Just slide them down your legs. Maybe you grab your ankles. Maybe you grab the bottom of your foot. Just go to whatever point is available to you. And then let your body fold a little bit more on each exhale. Flex your ankles. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Press the back of your knees down toward the mat. Bend your elbows. and breathe. And then tuck your chin a little more. Come on up. Take a big inhale and exhale. Come on up to standing. Just do a little bit for the thighs. Chair pose is a great pose for the thighs. So let your feet be either hip distance apart or together. Either one works. And of course your knees will be the same distance apart as your feet. Bring your hands to prayer. Sink down into your chair. So your buttocks is reaching back. And you're going to tap your buttocks to that little chair behind you. And then press into your feet and come on up. I'll do this sideways. Take a breath and sink down into your chair again. This time take a twist to the right. Come back to center, press into your feet, and come on up. Down again. Take a twist to the left. Come back to center, bring your fingertips to the mat, straighten your legs, drop your head. Heel toe your feet out. Now's a good time to just grab your block and make sure it's available. Drop down into a squat, lift your shoulders, bring your hands to prayer. Use your elbows to push your knees away. And then just bring your hands behind you and sit. Make your way down onto your back. Now, bring your right knee in. Extend your left leg out. Maybe it hovers, maybe it doesn't. Up to you. Clasp your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Come up. Twist to the right, left elbow toward right knee, and lower back down and switch. And then the other side, twist to the left, lower down and switch. Again to the right and down, switch, and to the left, down, switch, again, right and left. And both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Massage your lower back. Bring your arms to your sides. Extend the right leg out. Let it hover. And then switch. Nice and slow, so those middle abdominals have to work. And then lift your knees so that they're directly over your hips and your shins are parallel with the floor. Tap your right toe to the mat. Lift it back. Again. And again. And then your left toe. And again. And again. And both toes. Extend your right leg out, bring it back. Extend your left leg, bring it back. Right leg, left leg. Right leg, left leg. Bring your feet to the floor. Bring your hands to your thighs. Slide the heel of your hand down into the hip crease. Take a breath. On the exhale, slide your fingertips towards your knees. Release on an inhale. Come up again on an exhale. Release on an inhale and up again and down. Let your left leg rest on the floor. Bring your right leg up to the ceiling. Clasp your hands around the back of your knee and pull that leg in closer. Flex the ankle. Come on up, lift your forehead towards your knee. And release down. Let that leg just float back to the mat. Lift your left leg and clasp your hands around the back. Pull it in, flex the foot. And then come on up, forehead towards your knee. Breathe. And release. Let that leg float down to the mat. Bend your knees. Now just make sure your block is handy. Bend your elbows, tuck your shoulder blades under. Walk your heels back a little. Press down and lift your hips up for bridge pose. So in bridge, you want to stretch out your thighs. Push your knees forward. Lift your tailbone and let your chest round back to your chin. You can also press down with the upper arms. Helps to lift a little bit more. Breathe. Lift your right leg straight up. Switch to your left leg. Slide your block under your sacrum and come on down. Now hold on to your block. Lift your legs up, flex your ankles, bring your legs in closer to your upper body. Lift your legs to vertical and then lower them to halfway to the floor. Open to a straddle there. Come back together and lift your legs up and in closer to your upper body. Again, up and dropping forward. Open to a straddle, crisscross your ankles. Open to a straddle, crisscross the other way. Open, come back together, lift up and in. And one more time. Come down to that halfway point, pause there, and then from there, go all the way to the floor as slowly as you can. When your heels land, let go. Release your whole body. Just enjoy a front body stretch. Enjoy a nice hip flexor stretch. And breathe. It's a nice restorative pose. And then bend your knees. So this is going to be for the lower abdominals, these muscles right here. You can bring your hands to your sides, palms down. Press into your block with your sacrum and let your feet float up off the floor. Not too far, maybe just the height of your block. And then lower, don't touch, come up. Just close to the mat and up. So your range of motion is small. You're staying close to the mat, working those abdominals. Lower abdominals, feet to the floor now. Take a breath. Again, lift up. This time extend your shins so they're parallel with the mat. Hold and breathe. So notice that your knees are not over your hips, they're forward of that. Over your hips gets into the middle abdominals. This pose gets into the lower abdominals. And then just slide your knees back. Keep your ankles flexed and then press all the way forward as if you're going to touch the side wall with the soles of your feet. Come back in. And again, press the soles of your feet to the side wall. Bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. So one more. Press down, lift up. This time let's make a little circle out of it. Again, it's a small circle. You're staying close to the floor. You're working those lower abdominals. And drop your feet to the floor. Let your knees just fall out to their own sides. Take a few breaths. Bring your knees together. Lift your hips, put your block aside, drop your knees to one side and then to the other side. And then crisscross your left knee over the right. Drop your knees to the left, look over your shoulder. Come on up, uncross your knees, and then in the other direction, right over left. Drop your knees to the right, look over your left shoulder. Breathe. And come on back. Stretch your legs out. Big inhale. Lift your arms, breathe in through your nose. On the exhale, breathe out through your mouth. Arms to your sides. Again, big inhale. Really stretch out. Toes in one direction, fingertips in the other. And exhale through your mouth. Turn your palms up, close your eyes. Shavasana. Now think of your whole body getting soft. Find those little spots where you might have a little bit of tension or a little bit of holding on. Just let those spots melt. Let all the muscles on your face melt. Maybe you bring a little smile to your face, which softens all those muscles. Maybe you let your fingers curl in if they want to. Think about your whole body getting heavy and sinking into the earth, but knowing that the earth is supporting you. Breathe. Now, don't start thinking about your day yet. Take a few more minutes to just be here in this moment with yourself. Focus on your breath. Just watch that breath as it comes in and fills you up like a great balloon expanding. And then on the exhale, watch all the air go out so that you have room for new, fresh breath. Just stay with that. Stay with that visual of watching your breath, watching your body expand like a balloon and then deflate. And then slowly make your way back, bend your knees, drop them over to one side, let your hand push you up and let your head come up last. And then just sit comfortably. Notice the change since the beginning of our practice. How do you feel now? Let your hands rest on your knees with the palms up. Maybe if it feels natural to you, let your thumb and forefinger form a circle. Take a couple of breaths. Bring Bring your hands to prayer. Repeat this prayer in your own hearts with me. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live at ease in this world. Bow your head. Seal in your prayer, your intention. And let us wish each other namaste. Thank you.